I feel like this is already a contender for one of my favorite books of 2021. This has to be one of, if not the weirdest books that I have ever read. Because of what is life? Hey BookTube, I am 6 books behind my Goodreads reading schedule as of now. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this, I am on track. But as of now, I am way behind my Goodreads reading schedule, and I have not finished a book since the month of January. I could say that, schoolwork piled up, and it definitely did. I could say that I was just tired, but really I just wasn't making the time for reading. And so we're going to change that. There was a before, and now there's going to be an after. We are getting back on that reading grind after a short, longer than short, reading slump. So for the next week, I'm going to try to read a book every single day. Now obviously all of these books are not going to be 400-page behemoths. So today I compiled a list of some of the shortest books that I still wanted to read, and then went to the library and got some of them. So yeah, I'll just be introducing some of the books I hopefully will read in this vlog, and then we'll get right to trying to read 7 books in 7 days. Okay, so the first book I'm planning to read for this vlog is It by Stephen King. No, I'm just joking. The shortest book I think I found is Love is the Higher Law by David Levithan. David Levithan has a lot of really short books, so if I ever do another vlog like this, he'd be perfect. I don't know much about this book other than it is about 9/11 and that it talks a lot about friendship. But I've seen a lot of raving reviews about it on Goodreads, so I'm really excited. I've really enjoyed David Levithan's first book, Every Day, and so I'm hoping to enjoy this one as well. And this book is 163 pages, so I'm hoping to finish this one the first day. Next, I have the graphic novel adaptation of Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. I've read the original, the poetry book by Jason Reynolds. I just love that story so much. It is such a good book, and I honestly do not think it is talked about as much as it should be in the young adult community. It's about this boy that is riding down this elevator, and the entire book covers him riding down this elevator, and he meets the ghosts of the dead, and he really just learns a lot about himself. And it is a graphic novel, so I should get through it pretty quickly. Obviously, I don't know how many pages it is, but it definitely does not look very long, and it should be very quick to go through. Next, I have Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. I've read another book of Jerry Spinelli's, which is Maniac Magee, and I remember really enjoying this when I read it, so I'm super excited for this one. I know most people, when they think of Jerry Spinelli, they think of this book. I think it has its own movie. It's one of Kayla from Books and Lala's favorite books of all time, and it is pretty short. It's like 186 pages, so I'm super excited to read this one as well. And I honestly don't know anything about this book, but I'm just excited to get into it. I think it's going to be a fun, lighthearted ride. So next I have 2 books that are like tale stories, or like compilations or collections of tales from fantastical worlds. This is Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs. This is of course from the Peculiar Children series. And this is Tales from the Hinterland by Melissa Albert. I checked to see if this was from the Hazelwood kind of world that she's built, and I don't think it is. I might be wrong, but I don't think it is. And yeah, these covers are also really similar, and I'm sure that was very intentional, but I'm really thankful that authors put out these really short tale books for people like me. Okay, so next is a book that's very low on my priority list, because it's not that I'm not excited for this book, because I definitely am. I just feel like I really want to savor it, not as a part of like trying to get through it as quickly as possible. But if I do have to eventually read it, I'm not going to be against that. It is like a sort of thriller book. So again, I'm not against it, but it is sort of low on my priority list, and if I don't have to read it in this vlog, I won't. That's A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I've just heard so many good things about this book. It is so incredibly popular, and I really think I'm going to enjoy it. I feel like it's a guaranteed 5 or 4 stars, but again, if I don't get to it in this vlog, I am not at all mad about that. And then I got Messenger by Louis Lowry from the library, and I did not realize that this was the 3rd or 2nd book in the Giver series universe, whatever you want to call it. And I have read the first Giver book, but that was such a long time ago, so I just don't think it's safe to read this one. And then I have 3 books that I own that are like options for me at the very end to kind of round out the end of this week and trying to complete this challenge. The first one is Typed by Tori Maldonado. I am really excited for this one. I've tried reading it before, but just was diverted by other things. But I think I am going to enjoy it. Next is Separate Peace by John Knowles. This is about a boarding school in World War II or World War One? World War II. And I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've wanted to read it for a while. And so if I get the chance to read this vlog, then I probably will. And then I have Numbering All the Bones by Anne Rinaldi. I got this from my dentist, I think. And it is very short. I don't know much of what it's about. It's about the Civil War. But yeah, I don't think I'll get to this one. But if I need to read a pretty short book, because this is like 160 or so pages, 169, yeah, then I'll go read it. So yeah, that is just the very quick intro to this vlog. If this video has been uploaded and published to the world, then that means I probably completed the challenge, or at least it was interesting enough to watch me fail. So yeah, you're in for a ride. I'm going to start with Love is a Higher Law by David Levitan because it is very short and I am pretty excited for it. Alright, so I'm now 42 pages into Love is the Higher Law, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, it is a really powerful and important book, and so far it's already like touching on themes about hope, how 9/11 set up this before and after, the complexities of grief and hope, and how being scared of something that you didn't know was going to happen is much worse than being scared by something you were anticipating. It's a really good book, and like I said before, I think I said before, we have one chapter from each of our main POVs, and I think David Levitan is a very skilled writer, and he's established that in every day, and he's just showing it in this book. Each character has a different voice, and it's really showing. The writing style is just very beautiful. It's very simplistic, and it really just gets you in Brooklyn, in Manhattan, whatever it may be. But yeah, I think I'm good with 44 pages. I stopped at the beginning of the second part, and I think that's a great place to end. So yeah, I'll see you guys later today, although it's gonna be after I sleep because I need to get sleep. But yeah, alright, see you guys. Alright guys, it is the end of day 1 of this challenge, and I have finished my first book, and oh my god, was it a book. This book was so good. Like, going into this, I was expecting a lot. I have read one of David Levitan's books before, Every Day, and it was really, really good, and I loved it so much. And I knew that one of his books had the potential to be one of my favorites, but I didn't think it's going to be this one. Oh, but I feel like this is already a contender for one of my favorite books of 2021. I think you should definitely read my Goodreads review because I talked about a lot of the reasons I love this book so much. There's the 3 different perspectives, Jasper, Peter, Claire. They were just so fresh, raw, honest. They were all just, each one of them was so interesting to follow. The writing style was so incredibly beautiful. There were so many quotes in this book, and this also touches on like how this book talked about such big themes of grief and humanity and how we react to these really important and tragic events in life. This book just had so many beautiful quotes that just really can apply to any time, whenever something that is so out of the blue, so unanticipated occurs. This book was just so heartbreakingly beautiful. The characters were just amazing, and oh my god, this book was amazing. and I feel like it was the perfect length. I feel like a lot of authors with this idea would have tried to stretch it out for another like 100 or so pages, but I love how David Levitan didn't try to do that. He just made it as long as it needed to be, and that worked. But God, I love these characters so much. It's not my new favorite book of all time or anything, but it's out there. This book was just so beautiful. I am shocked nobody talks about it. It is really underrated. You should go read this book. It is so good. But yeah, now I am 5 books behind my reading schedule, which is still not good, but it's better than we were before. I'm actually really happy that day 1 went well, because I was really scared of this challenge. But now, I think I'm going to read the Long Way Down graphic novel. Again, I do want to get the shorter books out of the way first, so hopefully I can tomorrow start and finish Long Way Down, the graphic novel, and then if I have time, start Stargirl, and hopefully get a decent way into it so that I can finish it up on the 3rd day, and then start one of the longer books, probably like Tales of the Peculiar or Tales from the Wonderland or whatever that was. So yeah, day 1 was successful, so see you tomorrow. Why did I do that? I never do that. What was that? Hey guys, it is now the 2nd day. Actually, it's technically the 3rd day, but I'm not asleep. But let's just say it's the 2nd day of this challenge, and I literally finished my 2nd book at like 11:58. I am not joking with you, but we got it done. And Long Way Down, the graphic novel, was alright. It definitely wasn't as good, nowhere close, I feel like, as the verse novel. I just feel like it didn't capture that same like emotional authenticity, the same rawness, but it was still good. I loved the illustrations, and it was a 4 out of 5 stars for me. About trying to read 2 books today, I didn't, because I literally talked with my roommate for 2 hours. I took a COVID test for my school because I go to a boarding school, and yeah, I just didn't get the chance to read 2 books today, but I did finish the one that I needed to, and that's great. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. It might be Stargirl, but honestly, I have no clue, because of what is life. I'll figure it out. I'll tell you, but as of now, good night. Alright, hey guys, it is now day 3 of the challenge, and I finished the book. Okay, yeah, I did that. I am so confused as to what to think about this book. This has to be one of, if not the weirdest books that I have ever read. I feel like there's no accurate words to kind of describe this book and like what it was and kind of the ideals that it talked about. On the surface, it's a story about like how we shouldn't conform to what others think we should be. We should be our own individual. And it's about, exceptionalism and individuality. But like the story itself is so weird and crazy that like I genuinely don't know if I like the book or just think it's average. Like I don't know what I think about this book, and that is driving me insane. Like it's written in this like kind of detached and interesting writing style. Like, the characters stalk people, they talk to cacti, they like they're so pretentious, but it kind of serves the story. Like I just don't know how to contextualize, how to think about this book. And that ending, like, it came from nowhere, but it was honestly like the perfect ending to this really weird book. Yeah, I finished it at 11:38 instead of 11:58, which pat on the back. I feel like Jerry Spinelli just writes weird books. Like I read Maniac McGee, another book of his, and I remember that one also being really weird. So I feel like he just writes weird books. And now it comes to choosing which book to read next. And with my first 3, I was like, alright, these are the books that I know I'm going to read. Now it's like, what do I read next? Like I have Tight, which is 180 or so pages, but it is a middle grade, and I already read kind of what felt like a middle grade in Stargirl. Like another thing that was weird about it was like a borderline middle grade and young adult book. Like the characters were 16 and 15, like they were in junior year, but it didn't read that way. Anyway, moving on from Stargirl, we have tight. Numbering all the bones. And we do have a separate piece, but I honestly don't think I'm going to read it for this challenge. I feel like it's too heavy and long of a book to read in this challenge, so I just don't think I'm going to read it. So yeah. Then we have the two Tales books, and I think these are probably going to be the next two I read, but I don't know which two to read next. Oh my god, now that I'm looking about it, this book is like 200 or so, 220 pages. Okay, this is slowly crumbling from the inside, and I do not like it. Alright, hey guys, it is day 4, more than halfway through this challenge, and I finished the 4th book, Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs, and I actually really enjoyed this one. I thought some of the stories in it were really, really good, and I loved the different peculiarities and how they were explored. I thought all of them were just so fascinating. The writing style was brilliant. I loved like kind of the morality and how the morals that Ransom Riggs was going for were explored. I also loved the kind of references to the Miss Peregrine's series with some of the stories. I read those and I was, my peculiar heart just got really happy, and I loved that. But yeah, some of the stories in this were great. Some of them were bad. Cough Cough, the boy who could control the sea. That was a horrible story. I still don't understand the point of that story. If you read that book, you agree with me, I think. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I feel like I keep saying that, but I don't know what I'm gonna read next. Okay, so I didn't end up finishing the challenge, which I regret, but I also did read 4 books in 4 days, and I mean, that's enough. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye.